So either nuclear fallout, I think that's the inevitable. Nuclear fallout is at the end. But before that, there's a lot of things leading up to it. We see that food scarcity is crazy. Like a lot of people haven't been watching. Like check Georgia. Start looking up the food scarcity, how we missing certain things that we usually got. They not on the shelves no more. Then we see all of the ports been shut down since they created BRICS and Russia and all these different wars and rumors of wars that's happening. So we not finna be able to get things in from other countries. Y'all know that most of our stuff actually come from China. China done backed out of the U.S. They now dealing with a whole bunch. They dealing with Africa. They dealing with North Korea now. So life as we know it within a couple of years will not be the same no more. But we too busy doped up off the medicine. We too busy doped up off the junk foods, doped up off the alcohol and the drugs that we not seeing what's coming. And if you a wise man, you should be able to look at what's going on inside of this earthly realm and prepare. So I'm just here to tell y'all, look, wake up, let's prep. Because some shit finna hit the fan. And guess what? When they close these grocery stores, because they finna start doing these little exercises now, because y'all see the new COVID just rolled back out, right? Y'all peeped that. It's back, it's back. The new COVID just rolled, so they finna start doing certain exercises. Imagine the U.S. get cut off and ain't nobody got food. That sound like the Tyrone rat truck. Man, I'm telling you. So what happens if you own your own land and you're not a farm? You're not a plant your own, you know what I'm saying? There's something coming.
Latest attacks. I'm unveiling a 5-point plan to rid our subways of people who commit crimes and protect all New Yorkers, whether you're a commuter or a transit worker. Point 1. I'm redeploying nearly 1,000 members of the New York State Police, MTA Police, and MTA National Guard to conduct bag checks in the city's busiest stations. You'll start seeing them at the tables, making sure that weapons are not being brought in, working in concert with our New York State Police, as well as our NYPD. Because no one heading to their job or to visit family or to go to a doctor appointment should worry that the person sitting next to them possesses a deadly weapon.
Yeah, so right, so Barakatha Yahweh. Khan Barakatha Yahweh. Barakatha Yahweh Shai. All praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well, the elder bishops in Connecticut, the brothers in the Four Winds, preaching the truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, the elect, Shalom, to the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father, have come back to the fold, Shalom, to you sisters, you Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. This your brother Aram Yahawada with the lesson. Right? And you know, it's basically it's true what the brother's saying. They're bringing the whole CV19 is gonna be coming back up, right? So you got the Title A 416 bill declares that the governor or health commissioner in the event of declared state of health emergency due to epidemic, right? And that wasn't an epidemic. That was it was a pandemic, right? It's supposed to been across the whole land, the whole earth. But he's saying if it's an epidemic, pandemic, epidemic, right? We don't have to wait till it's a pandemic. It could be an epidemic, right? Of any communicable diseases may detain, right? Which means to take you, arrest you, right? Detain a person or groups of people upon determining, right? And it's up to them to determine what it is or what they feel. Whether it's a sneeze, a cough, a fart, whatever it is, right? And then that fart part was being funny, but I mean, you never know. You know, when it comes to Esau, right? They're determining by clear and convincing evidence, right? Which they didn't have clear and convincing evidence of the CV19 in the beginning. There was no clear evidence of anything. First, oh, don't worry about it. It's just the elders and the children you might have to worry about. Then, no, don't worry about the children. The children can't get it. No, you need to worry about the children. You know, covering your face doesn't help. Wait, no, covering your face do help. It was so much confusion with this clear evidence type thing that they're speaking of, which is not clear. It's just based on how they feel and what they feel, right? Going into those draconian laws, draconian measures, that the health and others is or may be endangered by an individual or some type of threat, health threat, right? So this is the bill that they passed, right? So yeah, so this is Micah chapter 2 verse 1. Woe to them that declare, right? You know, because you're seeing that bill, they're declaring it, right? Devise, so like, yeah. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds, which that's in their rulership, right?
Devise.
So devise, this is plan, right? Or invent, right? So you invent something, right? Let's look up the definition of invent. This is a verb. 3, third person, presents, invents, past tense, invented. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm looking for. Okay, so create or design something that has not existed before. Be the originator of, right? So when you deal with the what what do you call it? The digital coin, the digital all, right? It has never been in history have you had I mean, because you've had debt slaves, right? Because it tells you that in the scriptures, right? If a brother goes into debt and he owes someone, but then he has to go into slavery, and a brother or a family member redeems him, then he can get out of that, right? So we know about the debt slaves. So it's always been debt slaves, but never by such a mechanism as the charagma, the Karax, the Engrapho, the digital wallet within within under your skin, in your right hand or your left hand, or in your forehead, or anywhere in your body that it may be, right? It's never been that type of thing, right? It's never been invented like that. So when you go into a plan, invented a complex pro, fucking bitch, you fucking
Devise.
yeah. So go to the devise a plan or invent, right? So let's go into invent. It says verb, invent is a verb. Third person is invented. Invents. Past tense, invented, right? Invented or inventing, right? It says let's just get to what I was looking for right here. It means, to definition of it, this create or design something that has not existed before, be the originator of, right? So when you deal with the CV19, right, which that's what they're ushering in ultimately, and they have to say, they have to have problem, reaction, solution. They have to have this thing of saying how they're going to get it in by deceiving you and making you think that they're there for you to help you, right? Right? So it's never been, because it's saying it's never been in existence. So there has been debt slaves before in existence, right? Because just like the scriptures say about a brother who's fall into basically into hard times and basically becomes a slave to pay off his debts, either his brother or some type of relative could come in and pay and redeem him, right? Which that's ultimately Yahweh Shai. That's what he did for us, right? As a relative. He came and redeemed us by his blood, right? By the blood of the Lamb, which is Yahweh Shai, right? Through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, the Father of all spirits, raised him back out of the dead to be the firstborn of those who are to raise out of this dead state, out of Babylon the Great, right? Into those new bodies to be like unto Yahweh Shai. So this is what a plan and invent a complex procedure, system, or mechanism by careful thought. And that's ultimately what Esau's doing, man. Right? A training program, right? And that's ultimately what, hey, you can't make this a training program. So all this is to usher in the MOTB. And right now it's a training program. Such should be by what?
Devise.
By devised. By invention, by devised. Such be what? Devised. Right? So they're basically, implementing this. So, hey, you're sick, you're this, you're that. Hey, we got in all these so-called immigrants. We got all this, we have that, we have that. There's a need to have all your information on a digital wallet or within your phone. But then your phone and your digital wallet or whatever is going to become actually you, within you, right? Because Satan, Esau Edom is he's a copycatter, man. Right? He's never made anything original. He's a culture vulture, and he's never done anything original, right? So, right? Because the Lord said, what? The kingdom of heaven is inside you. So what do you think he's going to do with this MOTB? He's going to say that the kingdom is inside you. Right? Right. So this is Leviticus 25 and 47. And if a sojourner or stranger, right, which the sojourner or stranger is really actually talking about an Israelite. If you don't understand that, it's actually talking about Israelite. The sojourner is an Israelite. The stranger is an Israelite. It's just saying that as far as just giving you the understanding that there's other Israelites that's called strangers. These Israelites are strangers. These are Israelites. Whether you know it or not, accept it or not, believe it or not. These are Israelites. I'm not talking about anybody else, but even so, the same thing would have to be with the someone of another nation, Slovakia. And it says, right, would be worse, right? Because No, because yeah, it's worse. But then at the same time, the Lord is no respect of persons either, right? Because let me just finish this. Let me finish a thought because I'm going into another thought. So if a sojourner or a stranger wax rich by thee and by thy brother, right, which getting money off of you, right, which in this society, it's basically Esau. Esau gets rich off you and your brother and your neighbor and your neighborhood, right? Right? They the one who got the clothing, the material, but you're the one who pushes whatever the style or whatever, you know. Jake is the one who made the jogging suit popular, you know. Jake is the one who wore the baseball caps or the baseball caps with the certain teams on it and flipped it to the side and wore it backwards and all these different things that society does now. You know what I mean? And they wax rich. They wax rich off of you, by thee and by thy brother that dwell by him wax poor, and that's actually what happened. What do they say? The rich is getting richer, and what? The poor is getting poorer, right? And that's ultimately what this is talking about. But this is talking about other Israelites. But we know that this could be synonymous for Esau, because that's what he's doing. He's getting rich, and the poor is getting poorer, right? And sell himself unto the stranger. So you're becoming so poor that you became a debt slave, right? Or sojourner by thee, or to the stock of the stranger's family, right? And where do they have you at as Jakes? They let you know that your birth certificate is on the stock market, right? They make money on you from cradle to grave, right? Right. So it says the rich ruleth over the poor, right? So this is that, the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer, and the rich rule over the poor, and the borrower, right? Because this is a debt system. The system is always fixated on you. You technically happen to borrow, even when you go to work and you work at your job. Your job is actually borrowing money or borrowing your time in order to pay you. And then ultimately they're borrowing the money from the banks. And the banks is borrowing the money from the international bankers. And the international bankers are borrowing it from the world banks. Right? And thus you have your trickle down theory, right? But the international banks, right, are ran by so-called Jewish or Israelis, but so is the world banks. So they get a couple little bit more perks and this and that than your regular, average, conventional, regular bank, right? Your little neighborhood bank, right? That's probably not ran by Israeli, right? So, but some of them are. But let's no here nor there. Let me not go into a whole bunch of other different thoughts. But it says, but the rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is a servant, right? What servant goes into being a slave, a debt slave, a slave to the lender. So being a debt slave is nothing new, but it's saying they're gonna devise or invent something new that's never been seen before. And the digital wallet has, and you can go through every history. There's never been a such thing as a digital money, right? Money you couldn't actually physically touch and then take somewhere, right? And then prior to that, the dollar bill thing that you have, that wasn't so. Everything was coins, right? And prior to that, you actually had to go dig or find the coin or the gold and things yourself, or you just trade, you bartered. You know, that was just a system, the way it was, and the way it's going to go back to for some time until the Lord rules again, right? But it says, he that soweth iniquity, because ultimately that's what this is, man. This is a thing that's sold towards iniquity, to purposely put you into slavery, right? Purposely make you debt slaves, and then this is to ultimately make you a slave forever, right? To get you to get the MOTB, to make you a slave forever, to get the digital all. Reap vanity, right? All it is, they're gonna reap vanity, and the rod of his anger shall fail, because what? Satan, Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed so-called white man, is going to come down with great wrath, knowing that he had but a short time. So he's gonna come down with anger, but the Lord said that it's gonna fail. But in the meantime, in between time, right? They have to try to make this go into fruition. Yeah, to get back right here, it says Leviticus 25 and 47. And if a sojourner or stranger wax rich by thee and thy brother that dwell by him, Salakia, that dwell by him and wax by him wax poor, Salakia, that dwell by him wax poor, and selleth himself unto the stranger or sojourner by thee, or to the stock of the stranger's family, right? Which goes into right, probably having to get the all back then. It was the all, right? You had to sell it to the stock of the family that's getting the all, right? It says after that he is sold, he may what? Be redeemed. And that's ultimately what the Lord Yahushua did for us by sacrificing himself, that he redeemed, right? He's the he redeemed us, and of one of his brethren one of his brethren may redeem him, Slakia, right? A fellow Israelite, right? Either his uncle or his uncle's son may redeem him, or any that is nigh kin unto him, and kin unto him of his family may redeem him, or if he be able, he may redeem himself. See, and that's ultimately what Yahushua did, right? Because he died for the sins, first for himself, and then what? For the people. So he actually, he actually fulfilled that, right?
There is a new coronavirus variant that is causing more new COVID cases across the country than any other variant, according to the CDC.
Yeah, in today's Health Minute, Mandy Gather has more on EG5 and what you can expect from it. It's being called a variant of interest by the World Health Organization. EG5 is another Omicron offshoot and behind about 17% of new COVID-19 cases in the U.S.
So for now, it seems that it may have increased transmissibility, but it does not seem to be posing more of a threat to public health than other variants.
So far, EG5 has been detected.
Yeah, so get back right here. So it's Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Woe, which means destruction, to them that devise, right? And that's what they're doing. They're creating something that's never been done before, right? Dealing with the charagma, the digital awl, the digital dollar, to put in your right hand, your forehead, your left hand, your right butt cheek, whatever it is in your body. It's the ultimate sin, right? And work iniquity upon their beds, which means in their rulership, right? When the morning is light, right, which goes into the Illuminati, right? Right? So it says, how are thus fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, right? Heaven dealing with the rulership being on earth. Lucifer goes into the word light bearer, right? Which means that they ultimately so-called have the light, right? Son of what? Of the morning, going into the morning, going into them being in their rulership, right? That's why it says why it is morning, right? Because they're in their rulership, you know. Because if everybody else is, because it tells you that the world is in gross darkness, right? Gross darkness to people, right? Matter of fact, we have to do that real quick. 60. I think it's 60. Slovakia. It says Isaiah chapter 60, verse 2, for behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, right? And the whole earth is in darkness, man. Right? And they're saying that they have the light. And gross darkness, right? Gross darkness, what? The people, right? Because they put a veil over you people's eyes. That's why you have the, what do you call it? Miseducation. Your school system is you don't learn nothing there, right? Absolutely nothing in the school systems in America, especially in America, but in the world, overall in the world, you only can learn so much. You can only do so much. You can only go this far, you know. But especially in America, you learn absolutely nothing in America. So it's gross darkness to people, but Yahweh shall arise upon thee, who? The Israelites. Not everybody in the world, talking about the elect, the Israelites, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. And see, this is why the world is becoming afraid, right? Right? They could see what's happening. It's came upon us. It's a totally different swag, right? You just can't call it a fad and go, oh, this will go away, because this is not that kind of party. It ain't just gonna go away. How are thus cut down to the ground, right? They're gonna get back to that Bauer. We're gonna give them back that Bauer name, right? With Bauer meaning peasant, right? We're gonna give them back that name. You're no longer gonna be known as the Red Shield or Rothschild. You're gonna be known as Bauer again, right? Which did weaken the nations, because they went around the world with their Marines, their military, right? Because it tells you in the scriptures that, you know, that on that woman is on what, many waters, right? And waters being what, the people, right? Right? In fact, let's give it to when it breaks it down. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and go up here. Then I'll just skip down. It says, and there, it says Revelation chapter 17 verse 1, and there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, and I will show unto thee, Salakia, the judgment of the great whore, which is talking about America, the place that we live in, Babylon the Great, that sitteth upon many waters. Right? And skip down. Let's go ahead and go right here. Right? Might as well go ahead. It says, these having one mind, which dealing with the New World Order. All these governments and all these different things are going to come together. They're going to have one mind. These having one mind and giving their power and strength unto the beast, right? Which dealing with NATO, EU, and America, right? Which really goes into them being the Illuminati. Really, I would really go into, the Illuminati in itself, because when you deal with it, all the world is playing upon the system, but then you got one people that set up, even though they're Illuminati, they both got two different agendas of how, or what do you call it? Not agendas, but they have two different opposing methods of how to rule the world in a way, and that's gonna get in their way, because Satan is gonna fight against Satan in that thing, because the Lord, even though they are in one mind now, right? These shall make war with the Lamb, right? Which is talking about Yahweh Shai, when Yahweh Shai on his way back, right? Because but the thing about that is Yahweh Shai's already paid the price. So what do you do when you've already paid for something? You know what I mean? Hey, you're going to have to come and take what's yours. You know what I mean? And the Lamb shall overcome them, right? For he is the Lord, Adawanya. He is the Lord of lords and the King of kings, right? Adawanya, or Adawan. He's the Lord of Adawans. Adawamya. I don't know how you plural it. Adawam. Adawam and Adawamya. Yum or whatever, plural, Adawam Yum, I don't know. And Malak at the Malak of Malaks or Malak Yums, however you say it, right? And they that are with him are called what? Chosen and faithful, are called, chosen, and faithful, which dealing with the elect, right? So you can't stop the bum rush, right? And it says, and he said unto me, the waters which thus sawest were where the whore was sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues, right? Yeah, so this is Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Woe, meaning destruction, to them that devise, right? So destruction is going to come to those that devise or create inventions or invent something that's never been in existence before. And what we're talking about that never been in existence before is it's never been a digital dollar. It's never been, there's been, like I said, I was showing you that there's been debt slaves, but there's never been a debt slave to a digital currency that you couldn't touch or feel or let alone put it in within your body, right? So it says that divides what? Iniquity, right? Because that's iniquity, man. That's wickedness. To get people to do something that's totally against the Most High, right? And work evil upon their beds, right? Dealing with their rulership. And when the morning is light, right? Which talking about them ruling, right? The Illuminati, they practice it because it is in their power, right? So dealing with the Illuminati, right? 14 and 12 says, how are thus fallen? See, ultimately, just like the other scripture said in Proverbs, that their anger, their wrath, the anger is gonna fail. So ultimately, this is all gonna come to them failing, but it's not gonna stop them from trying. So how are thus fallen from heaven, right? Their rulership, which them ruling the earth. Earth is a heaven, right? It's a paradise, or it used to look more like a paradise than it does now. But you can still go to certain places, and it still paradise in certain places. But it's not paradise as it should be with Esau, Edom ruling. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Lucifer just means light bearer, right? Because it means that they have have the light, right? Son of the morning, how are thus cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations, right? Because what? Isaiah 60, right? It tells you, says, for behold, the darkness shall cover the earth. And that's ultimately what Esau, Edom did, right? With all his lies. Once he conquered during the Renaissance, he did iconoclasm, took the dark images of the saints, or what you would call the Israelites, and made them pale, right, like them, made them have blonde hair, blue eyes, or stringy hair, whatever, made them look more like them, right? But the one thing they couldn't really truly mess with is too much is the scriptures. They tried, but there's a lot of them that the reason why they didn't completely mess up the Bible, like, you got a couple of J's, you got a couple things in the Bible that's not the way it used to be, but they didn't take it all out in totality, should I say, because a lot of them were dropping dead. The Most High was striking them down with lightning and all sorts of different things. People were dropping dead. They were seeing apparitions. They knew that the Bible was something serious, so they knew it was something serious that they need to come and teach you Jakes a different doctrine, to come up with their own doctrine, right? So that's gross darkness. So they can grow, so they can behold, which means feast your eyes, look, pay attention. The darkness shall cover the earth. So they have to cover the earth with darkness, with lies, and gross darkness. What to the people? They have to lie to you people. But Yahweh, right, the Most High, shall shine upon thee, which dealing with the elect. The Lord is going to shine upon the elect, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. And see, and this is why the world is starting to be afraid from the four winds of the earth, every which where. Israelites are out there preaching and declaring the will of the Father, of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Right? And this can go into them, that gross darkness. It says, and the devil, right, which means deceiver, or which more in depth, it means accuser, right? Accuser or false accuser, right? So he has to falsely accuse Yahushai of being a white man, right? He has to falsely accuse the Most High of being a white man, right? He has to falsely accuse the Israelites in itself to being white people. Now, are there scattered Israelites here and there that look like white people? Yeah, there are. But for the bulk of the fact of the matter is, the Israelites are dark-skinned people, and it's all through the Bible. That's why the Lord was killing a lot of them. They were dropping dead, getting struck by lightning and all these different things. Every time they tried to, they added or took away from the Bible, because that's what the Lord said he would do to them. He would add and take away from their life. Right? It says, and the devil that deceived them was cast into the what? Into the lake of fire. He was cast down from what? From heaven, from his rulership. Right? Right? When the ICBM missiles hit, America is going to be cast down. I mean, was deceived them. Matter of fact, there's another one. Matter of fact, let's go up, and then I'll jump back down there. It says, and when the 1,000 years were expired, right, going into the time of the fall of the Western Roman Empire, the pagan Roman Empire, it fell, and then Jake ruled in the Eastern Roman Empire, and of course Jake migrated into into different parts of Europe, because they're already in Europe, because Rome is in Europe, but different parts of Europe where they were ruling. England, Scotland, right? Because that was King James. He was king of King of England, king of Scotland, and king, I believe, Ireland, right? Right? When you go into them being they were called stewards, right? Which makes sense, because even in the scriptures, a steward is like a landlord, right? And that's why the Lord calls Esau the unjust steward, right? He's unjustly being a landlord over the world, right? Deforestation, all sorts of different things, you know what I mean? Pollution, plastic in the ocean, all sorts of different things, right? Even though they never been to the moon, They're still saying that there's pollution and plastic and things in outer space. So it proves that they're unrighteous to rule. So it says, and when the 1,000 years or expired, Satan, which means adversary, right, shall be loose, right? He had to be loose out of that, right, during the Renaissance, right, which Renaissance means rebirth, out of his prison, right, out of the Caucasus Mountains, right, because they came from Mount Seir first, obviously, but they eventually got pushed up into the Caucasus Mountain, where you get the word Caucasian from, which means cave dweller, right, and shall go out and deceive the nations, right, which gross darkness, the nations, the people, which are in the four corners of the earth. So you had to have gross darkness to the people, to the earth. And Gog and Magog, to gather them together to the battle, which is World War III, which is all going to happen, which is all basically, coming to fruition right now, because Gog and Magog is where Russia is at. That land is Gog and Magog, because Gog and Magog is actually a Japhetic name, which they're not Japhetic, they're actually Edomites. So Esau is going to fight against Esau, but the Lord's calling them Gog and Magog because they're in the land of Japhet, but not because they're Japhet. They're not Japhet, right? So it says, to gather them together for the battle for World War III, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. And the Lord said it in Ezekiel 38 that that Gog and Magog is gonna have a military so vast it's gonna spread like a cloud over everything. It's gonna be a very large military, right? That's why it says like as the sands of the sea. I'm just gonna skip down, see, and it says, and the devil, right, which means false accuser, right, which goes into actually Satan, your false accuser, Satan, which is adversary, that deceiveth them, was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet, going into the Roman Catholicism, right, the Catholic Church, they're false because all these other churches that stem off from these things basically stems off from the Catholic Church, even Islam. They all stem off from the Catholic Church. So all these things have to go, right? Because the real true children are the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, and you're not Black, and you're not Hispanic, and you're not Native Indian. You're the Israelites, in which the Lord's really only dealing with the elect at that. It says, where the beast and the false prophet are and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever, right? Which, it's not going to be forever and ever. It's going to be for a long time, which seems like forever. It's going to be a very long time that America's going to burn, right? Yeah, it says, Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1, woe unto them that declares like unrighteous decrees, right? Which dealing with decree, right? It's like so this is Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1, woe, which means destruction, weeping and gnashing of teeth, unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, which means going into these laws, right, that they about to go into, these draconian laws, their decrees. So, right, let's go into decree. Decree, an official order issued by a legal authority, which they say that they're legal, right? But they have the power, the military power, the guns, the muscle behind them saying that they're the authority, right? Because the blessing is Esau, is the sword, is the gun, right? The modern day sword is the gun, And that is Esau's blessing. So by that blessing, he's saying that he's the law. He has the authority to pass whatever law he wants to pass. And that's ultimately what he's doing. Right? Yeah, so this is Psalms 55 and 21. And so when he pushed forth these unrighteous decrees by saying, "Hey, I'm here to help you," right? He's going to say he's here to help you with diseases or the immigration. I'm here to help you. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter. So ultimately, it's just all smooth words, man. That's all it is. It sounds good. But war was in his heart. So ultimately, and what do you use for war? Right? Esau's blessing is the sword, and the modern day sword is what? The gun, right? Or whatever you can get your hands on to kill somebody with. And that is Esau's blessing to kill, right? Most of the serial killers have been so-called white people, and then if you go into the one or two so-called black people that were serial killers, they could have been terrorists. They could have technically actually been chocolate-covered Edomites. Who knows, right? When you go into the aspect of what's really going on, you know what I'm saying? Because when you come into who Jake is a totally different person, right? To these Edomites. But war was in his heart. You know? Because, matter of fact, because Jake be a totally different person. What is it, what's that thing? 20. Yeah. So, because this how Jake be doing. Jake be marching. We just want peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. You know? But really, they ain't making sure these people don't have peace. Esau finna come out there with them guns, beat them upside the head, shoot a couple of them, beat them up, take a couple to jail, and ain't gonna be no more marching, no justice, no peace. They gonna shut up for a while until another Jake or somebody get killed or something like that, and they go out there. You know what I'm saying? Esau's running that, but overall, this is Jake's mentality. My soul have long dwelled with him that hate peace, right? Ultimately, Esau hates peace, but Jake is always trying to push forth. No, come on, let's just be brothers, right? Even though he's our brother, but he's our wicked, evil brother, and he don't want peace. He hates peace. I am for peace, but when I speak, they are for war. Right? That's ultimately what Esau is, man. Jake is for peace. And Jake will say, hey, I want peace. But Esau, he want war. You know? Yeah. But yeah, get back to that. It says, but war was in his heart. Back to 21, Psalms 55 and 21. But war was in his heart. His words were smoother than oil, yet they were drawing swords. Which tell you that the modern day sword is the gun. And when you want to go to war, you bring what? A sword, or you bring a weapon, you bring a killing instrument. Right? This is Psalms 35 and 20. For they speak not peace, right? Esau ain't about speaking peace. If he do, he lying, right? But they devise what? Deceitful matters against them that are quiet in the land, right? That's all it is, man. Jake ain't really trying to bother nobody. They just trying to do their thing. And yeah, Jake kills Jake and all these other type of things. But who made those conditions, man? Esau made those conditions. Right? Right? So it says Psalms 28 and 3, draw me not away with the wicked, right? Because ultimately America's going to be destroyed, man. And you don't want to get drawn away with the wicked. And with the workers of iniquity, which speak peace to his neighbors, right? You're supposed to be my fellow American citizens. Let's just all come together. Let's just, hey, then draconian laws and measures are going to come out. But mischief is in their heart, right? They're gonna come and do mischief. And then when you read another version of this, it tells you malice was in their heart, right? And it's just wicked, right? You know. So oh shit, what one? It says and this is Malachi chapter 2 verse 2, and they covet fields and take them by violence, right? Yeah, they covet fields and take them by violence, man. And that's Esau, man. All day, every day, man. That's what he's doing over there in the Gaza Strip. He's taking it by violence, man. You know? That's what they do know. It's not inconceivable that Esau, who you call the so-called white man, is not violent. Right? Because even the Bible, right? Right. This is speaks to that. Was it 40 and 4? It says, because this is talking about Esau. Well, and Jake, wicked Jakes too. But for the most part, Esau is the border of wickedness. He is the wicked. It says, Psalms 40:4, keep me, O Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, from the hands of the wicked. Preserve me from the what? Violent man. And that's Esau, man. Esau is the violent man who have prospered, right? Is he not? The rich became rich and the poor became poor. He prospered to overthrow my goings. The proud have hid the snares. So ultimately, what do you think the MOTB is? The MOTB is what? A snare. For me, the cords, they have spread, and the nets by the wayside, they have set gins for me, Selah, which is traps. Right? And so the MOTB is all this whole thing's all a trap. I'll help you. Oh, you're sick? Oh, well, let me pass this law that says if I deem or I think anything about you being sick, I get to trap you. I get to put you in this thing, and I'm gonna cause hell on you, and it's gonna force you to get this the charagma. You're gonna end up getting it. You're gonna cause what? Might as well go to 15, 14, 15. No, I'll go to 14. 14, 15, and 16, and I might as well go 17. And then I'm gonna go ahead. I think I'm gonna end it on this one, because that's ultimately where we're coming into. It says, this is Revelation chapter 13, verse 14. And he deceived them, hey, going into that gross darkness, he deceived them that dwell on the earth by the means of what? Those miracles, right? It was a miracle. Oh my God. The Israelites have came back, by the Balfour Declaration, and the American and the British and the French and even Russia, right? Because I just found out that even Russia helped them get into that land. See, this is all a game. But what's going to happen is, that's why the Lord said that he's going to make an evil thought to come into Gog and Magog's mind, which is Russia. He's going to make an evil thought, because right now it's just a game. Real people are dying. Don't get me wrong, that Ukraine thing, real people ain't dying, but in some of these wars, real people ain't dying. But for the most part, it's all staged. It's fluff. It's all to get you scared. So this happens. And then you tell somebody it's fake. You can't tell me it's real, because my family, he died. He came back in a box. Yeah, he really died. But that's how insignificant the lives of regular people are to these elites. They are really, just casualties to the method, right? That's it. Just casualties to the method. That's all. Right? Speaking of it. Right? Speaking of it, and it just sent me an alert. Ukraine war briefing, Russia forces occupying Ukraine use. Oh, as a policy. See, they're setting laws. UN right? So they're setting laws saying, hey, this and that, all these different things. So it says, and he and deceive them that dwell dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, right? Like I was saying, oh my God, Balfour, it's a miracle. But they came riding on trains. There's nothing in the scriptures that they're going to come riding in trains, and that they were going to come this way and this way. The Lord said he's going to gather all his people from one end of the earth to the other. He's going to gather them all over the earth at one time and get them. And then after the World War III, not World War I and World War II, the Lord said the first woe, the second woe, and the third woe comes quickly. After the third war's war is when the Lord is going to have his people go in that land. You're barely going into the third war's war right now. So that is impossible for those people to be the people. Either those people are telling the truth or you saying the Bible's a lie. But they're referencing their whole thing based on the Bible. Even though they say they don't, this is why they don't believe in the New Testament. Because the it kills that whole thing. But you can't even say that because it tells you that in the even in the Old Testament, it says there shall not be war anymore. Is there not war happening? I mean, literally, the Israelis is causing war on Gaza and the Houthis, right? So it doesn't even begin to make sense, Slakia. Because let me finish up. Because I will go on. Slakia. It says citing the miracles which had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image of the beast, which dealing with the Roman Empire, which is the second leg of Rome. But now we're dealing with a digital economy. We're dealing with more technology than you've ever had before, going into the AI, going into the drones and the things that they're having, the Space Force, all these different things that they're going to have, but mostly dealing with the Karagma, right? Because the Karagma, the digital dollar, you have never seen a digital dollar before. You had debt slaves, but to make you a debt slave to a digital dollar is insane. It's never been done before. So let's get into that. It says, dwell on the earth that they should make an image of the beast which had the deadly wound by the sword and did live, which is talking about the Roman Empire, which they came back with their so-called democracy. You got the Flavians, the patricians. Now you got the Democrats, the Republicans. They had their so-called council, and they had the Caesar, which was like a president or prime minister, or however you want to say it. It's basically the same thing, and they make you think that you're voting, but you're not really voting. These things are all selected, and you're not voting, right? That was the same thing they had under the Caesars, right? You wasn't really voting. They were already pre-selected, right, by whoever was actually ruling, right? And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause, as right, like I said, dealing with the AI, because when you dealt with the way the Roman Empire was, you didn't have power to make the image speak, dealing with their way of life, right? Right? Even though they try to do that, whatever goes on in Rome stays in Rome, kind of like what they do in Vegas. What goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas. Try to just get you to be some debaucherate people, right? But this thing is going to speak even louder, right? Now you can really be whoever you want to be, you know? Now you could get your digital coin, your digital dollar, go over here, get a sex change. You could do whatever. You could be called whatever you want, and you could do it within light speed. Just click, 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 click on a thing, and now you're this, you're that. Now you have this, now you have that. And then now you're down with the system, right? And it's dealing with their system. And the first thing comes with the system is the dollar, right? So it says and he gave power to the image, and he gave power. He had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth, right? So once the famine come in, once the so-called sickness CV19 shows up all over again, and people get all hypochondriac and afraid and I don't know what's going on, and just listen to us. Trust the science, right? All those things come in again. Now it's going to cause you to do it, man. It calls everybody that took the jump shot, the juicy juice, the Jabberwocky, you know, whatever you want to call it, the snake venom, whatever you want to call it. They took that, they did that, and he calleth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, right? Significant, insignificant people, rich people, poor people, free people, people in prison, right? To receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, right? Elon Musk got the chip that's for the brain that they're putting it in people now. They're no longer doing pigs or monkeys. They're doing straight up trials with people now, right? And we know they've been had the chip for the hand, right? And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name, which goes into it being, because you got the charagma, which is the mark. It's just saying that's just what it is, the mark. The charax is the delivery system, which is the needle, right? And the engraphol, which that's what it's talking about. This is the name of the beast or the number of his name. That's the engraphol. That's going to have all the, what you call it, the info, the knowledge, the I don't know how you do it in the digital world, but basically it has all the information, right? So when they swipe it, it comes up with who you are, your name, when you were born, where you were born, your arrest record, your dental record, your medical record. It's gonna come up with everything in that whole thing, and eventually, you know, maybe in the beginning it's gonna be all separate. You know, no, that's not true, because my medical thing is in my other thing. Well, but is it in your digital wallet or your digital? Oh yeah, it's in my other digital. Oh yeah, okay. Well, let me tell you something. Guess what? And if it ain't, guess what? It's gonna be. I mean, even when we were kids, they kept telling us, "Hey, you better get into computers. Everything going to computers." So what do you think? If everything's going to computers, and they're talking about literally a digital dollar, and he called us all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, and no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So what do you think that means, man? It doesn't make sense for you to say anything else besides that. That it has to be the mark of, you know, right there. It's that mark. So, all right, call on Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well, the elder bishops in Connecticut, the bishops everywhere in the four winds, the brothers that's teaching in truth and sincerity in the four winds, right? The hopeful elect, the elect, Shalom, to the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel and have come back to the fold. Shalom to you, sisters, you Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence, prepared to learn. The Wada, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and a Baba Ball.